3 years ago, when we all were going through the pandemic, I was streaming Call of Duty Zombies with my friends Danny and Rihanna Manuel Pena. They asked me while we were playing what I thought of the accessibility was like for Call of Duty. I said it was the least accessible franchise in video game history. Little did I know at the time, there was a developer from Call of Duty who was in the chat in that very moment that said, "Okay, bet." They reached out to me afterwards asking if I wanted to work with them to help make the next Call of Duty more accessible. 3 years later, and my first project with them is coming out, which is the story campaign for Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And today, I get to spotlight some of the accessibility that will be in the game. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Steve Saylor, I'm blind, and I play video games. To find out how and what I see when I'm playing games, click here or click in the video link in the description down below. Also, while you're down there, click the like and subscribe buttons as well. It would really help me out. So actually, as you may have noticed, I'm not in my usual setup, and that's actually because I'm on a work trip to San Francisco, and thanks to Twitch for allowing me to record this video at their headquarters here in the city. So shout out to Twitch. If you can't really see it, but I'll maybe have a picture of it. This is the SpongeBob SquarePants' house. It literally is a giant pineapple that's in this room. They've got amazing streaming rooms here. This is awesome. So thank you again. Shout out to Twitch. All right, as a caveat before I get into some of the accessibility coming out in Call of Duty Black Ops 6, I have to give a huge shout out to the teams at Treyarch, Raven, and Beanox who worked on this game. They did all the heavy lifting on this. They are absolutely amazing and passionate people who care about accessibility on those teams, and they are the ones who deserve all the praise for all the amazing work they did. That being said, and I'm only speaking for myself and I'm not representing the team here, these are my own opinions, turning Call of Duty from the least accessible franchise to an accessible franchise is a slow process. It's probably, next to GTA, the largest video game franchise out there. I'm going to be transparent and say that while Black Ops 6 will be missing some features that some disabled folks will need to play this game, the teams moving forward are continuously working on and reiterating on the game. Black Ops 6, and even going back to Modern Warfare 3, is a first step towards the goal to make COD accessible for everyone. While I know it's disappointing to some, all I ask is that you keep an open mind and also be patient. We're getting there, just one step forward at a time. That being said, there is a ton of accessibility that will be in the game, but also new features that are being added, including one that I believe, and I could be wrong, so please correct me in the comments if I am wrong on this. This might be an industry first for a video game. So let's jump right into it. Let's start with actually a biggie for deaf and hard of hearing players. Black Ops 6 will introduce a brand new feature called asymmetrical hearing compensation. For those who may not know, and there's a ton of nuance to this, so I'm going to do my best to simplify this. For deaf and hard of hearing disabilities, much like blindness, there are a lot of folks who do have some hearing, whether that's through their left or right ears or both. But there are some frequencies that they can hear and some they have trouble hearing. So with asymmetrical hearing compensation, deaf and hard of hearing players can go in and adjust the volume of individual frequencies to their comfort levels. If there is a frequency they can't hear that well, they can go in and change it to make it louder or quieter. If a specific frequency is too dominant, not only can you be able to adjust it but you can also adjust it per ear. This is huge. I believe I've only seen this in Xbox's own system settings, but this is a first that I've seen in a game specifically. Now, I know the name is not exactly the best, it's not the most creative, but I definitely would recommend checking that out just in general, just to see what's available and what you can be able to do. It's a very robust system that they have there. Also, this is kind of a fun fact as an aside. Did you know that nearly half of all of Call of Duty players have accessed the accessibility menu? Well, now you do. Along with the features I'm going to talk about, I wanted to call out as there actually is a blog post that I'm pulling a lot of this information from, and thanks to the Call of Duty PR team for giving me access to see what is going to be in this blog post going up as this video is going up as well. But they also now have a stat in there that that proves accessibility is more than just the less than 1% of players. That is an absolute bullshit argument, and I'm so glad we don't have to say this anymore, because 45% of all of Call of Duty players have accessed the accessibility menu. That's literally millions of players who are checking out the accessibility settings and using them. Anyway, just wanted to point that out. Moving on. Next up is a feature that some of you may not know was already introduced in Modern Warfare 3, and that's high contrast mode. For Black Ops 6, actually, high contrast mode has been expanded on and improved for not only use in campaign, but what we can finally announce is that it will also be available in zombies mode, which is huge. Now, I know it's not necessarily in multiplayer or in Warzone. That is something that I personally would love to be able to see, and I would love to be able to see that where it's useful for players, not only just for low vision players, but for just players in general. But for now, we can say that both the campaign and zombies mode in Black Ops 6 will be able to use high contrast mode. And there's actually a few settings you'll be able to adjust. Now, back in Modern Warfare 3, you could only adjust a few settings for high contrast mode, but in Black Ops 6, you can adjust either a border outline around enemies or allies, or you can add a full color shader instead. You can change the color of any of the shaders. For those who are colorblind, there are a multitude of color options to be able to fit your needs and comfort level. Also, you can enable a dark background setting, which will add further contrast from the background for those with lower vision. So basically, you can have a muted background, and the only things that'll pop up is just the colors of your friends and enemies. This is huge. I love that. It's going to be in campaign and zombies, so if you're interested in that, please feel free to check it out. Now, with the announcement back in June about Omni Movement coming to Black Ops 6, there is also a feature being added to assist those with motor disabilities for those who need some assists, and that's called Intelligent Movement. You can enable a Sprint Assist, Mantle Assist, Crouch Assist, and Corner Slice, which will allow the players to do those movements without the need for additional inputs. So this can immensely help make disabled players more faster and competitive during combat, which is awesome. Next up, you can actually be able to adjust the HUD with several HUD presets that will adjust the layout of the HUD for you, including adjusting the color for the mini-map. Also, if you don't even want to use the mini-map as it may be too much of a visual clutter for you, you can either use the Dot Hunter or Focused presets. You'll be able to learn more about that once the game comes out. This takes us one step closer to what I want in games, which is the ability to be able to adjust everything for the HUD, including custom size and placements. We don't have that just yet, but being able to have just HUD presets instead of just the standard default HUD that everyone gets is huge. I definitely would recommend checking out the different presets and giving them a try. Now, going into zombies mode for a minute, you have there are the two features that are specific to that mode, and that's Arachnophobia setting, which can remove encounters with spiders in zombies. That's huge. Plus, also not only because round-based zombie modes are back, and that Treyarch is simplifying the experience for new players to jump in if they've never played zombies before, you can also officially pause and save a game in progress, including in online mode. The host player can pause the match and also be able to save the team's progress so that the host can go back and load that match later. That's going to be a huge cognitive load off players and also allow disabled players to go at their own pace in what is normally a very frantic mode like zombies. So the fact that you can just go back in, and if you need to just take a break, you need to go get some food or whatever, you can just pause and you can actually there's a timer that will automatically save the game once after the timer's done. Chef's kiss. life. I love it. Moving on, lastly, the blog post also does confirm that in Black Ops 6, both the Xbox Adaptive Controller and the PlayStation Access Controller will work out of the box in this game, along with all the multitude of motor-disabled accessibility settings and just settings in general for motor-disabled players. You have access to all that, and it will be useful on those adaptive controllers. Now, unfortunately, I don't have confirmation if the PS Access Controller will fully work on the PC version, as there is still no official support from PlayStation for the Access Controller on PC, so it may or may not work. I personally just don't know. So you may want to give it a try, see if it works, and hopefully if it doesn't, there'll be able to be official access soon from PlayStation. And that's the features I can basically highlight today. There is a ton of effort that went into making this game, along with the campaign, to be as accessible as it can. Working with the Raven team specifically for the campaign has taught me a lot about accessibility and working in a developer environment. I've seen progress in a lot of areas, from UI design to even user experience, to hopefully make Call of Duty Black Ops 6 the most approachable and accessible in the franchise to date. While I'm personally sad it doesn't have everything I wanted in the game, it still is a massive achievement to get the first step going, and I will say Call of Duty is a franchise to watch out for as it becomes more and more accessible for each of the titles moving forward. And personally, I am just so happy to be able to have worked on this team. The team has been amazing. Definitely try out the single-player campaign. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you all think of just the campaign in general, but also some of the UI improvements and the user experience improvements that have been made in the campaign alone. It's been my pride and joy of working on it for the past couple of years, and I can't thank the Raven team enough for bringing me on board. And also to shout out to Danny and Rihanna for playing zombies with me and asking those questions about accessibility, because without them, and also the fact that we're here at Twitch, being able to say this all started because of a Twitch stream, I'm just so very honored, and I'm glad, and I hope that you are too, and hoping you can be able to enjoy Black Ops 6. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe buttons, please, because it will help make this channel grow, and I really would appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I probably won't be able to answer everything, but if you have any questions, please leave them, and I'll try to answer as best I can. And also, please be nice. It'd be great. Anyway, take care, and as always, I remain obedient to yours. Bye-bye.